we will just not accept a rigged
But
election.
going back to your earlier statement, so are you then saying that we should anticipate Sierra Leone going back to war if you do not win?
Are you anticipating that they're going to rig an election? Are you encouraging them to do that?
Based on the statements, because we are looking at a situation where political tension is rife, and for the sake of peace, we would not want to see issues
if they rig
arising.
if they rig this election without me saying anything, this country is going to.
But what are appropriate measures to take? Because
That's him.
The point here is a lot of people are
Sierra Leoneans take notes.
Yeah.
Clean election. Let everybody see that the process.
DA is ready to send our country back to another war.
Accept it.
So your answer we can say if the journalist confirm say if he feel say they rig the election, he not ever deny his statement. He just stood in ground say that say they rig the election. So if they rig the election, the people for good. This will go for the people who they listen to because the SLP people and specifically me, I know they talk this talk without identifying women different problem. 90% of them will continue this talk here. I don't care what person they feel because once of the problem, we for tell them say they are the problem as alone.
Fact.
90% of them don't be radicalized. Then don't they don't brainwash them to a point that they know the EBC the danger way they befall them if the government change.
Right.
This man said 3 years ago, he said if you don't win, any guy if they still the rig in the first war. Now when they talk now say the EU they report to their rights is unfortunate. Imagine I know in the talk unfortunate statement, not even the talk. When the ask yourself, let me tell you something, Ibrahim, when somebody guilty of voting ask me, they say this storm, I don't even know how to answer.
Exactly.
In fact, in that itself, still the position of the report about the institution there. We even don't complain, he don't complain against the police, pass so safe. You don't complain against the police so many times. We don't suicide in chairman when I presided say the IG, the then IG for resign. We na munu. Because he tell them say they don't get security for talks them. You see, they say the IG for resign. He don't complain, he don't cry for against neck. Nobody not saying in the grumble. Now, how no grumble? If the ink away make neck na be been diluted, you get a lot of people like the PR on a neck 2018 from 2012 to 2018. Now massacre and I mean them to be specific. The deputy with the deputy commissioner for Western area. Now Mrs. Bokai, I mean them to be specific. It been diluted, and most of the key positions inside neck have been outside. I mean them to be specific. You can't meet the force where we say the IG have been northerner, the DIG have been southeasterner. Where they put like the cause as IG, you can't meet the force where we say they can't meet a system will be diluted. You will get cohesion. Like let's say just what you get. Let me do that finance. Principal finance the principal accountant and finance. The one doing that director of debt diluted inside them.
Dingy was head of budget, and then Sajusu was head of like the debt management. Now we continue.
Yes. Imagine this all it's meant to be specific. That means of finance under APC. So in Canada now we meet a force now they tell you to be specific. The police, the IG, now mean they not to just South the DIG, now mean they not just South the head of operation, now mean they not just South the rest of crime service, now mean they not just South the head of CID, now mean they the head of OS, now mean they all the AIGs they within across the country. That's what I mean to be specific. So I want to people know Google put a neck. You don't appoint from chief electoral commissioner to the commissioner south, commissioner east. Do I don't appoint at the western area? They're all I mean they look how neck it is. And not we look neck. Let's say 98% of land we did it today. We will keep in fact all the key position all 100% midday. So what do we pull the point?
Just for clarity, make people know. I think the recent lady where they approve now Limba, but I think Iman Namende, but they are strong supporters of SLPP.
Let us not fool you. Let us not fool you.
No, well, somebody and in fact even parliaments they talk on that day. They're talking at parliaments that they say she's Limba or something, but like she's strong.
Limba, so the full people cash box. Me nobody say. Let me tell you something. Me I know them people. I know the Mindewe that when I come out. I know the Mindewe that when I content. I know the Mindewe that Sisi. I know the Mindewe that Bangura. I know the Mindewe that Kuruma. I can call them by name now. I know the Bangura when I pick it up. We the fabricate. Now Mindewe man. Baba Jalo we did that defense. Now Mindewe man. I call all. the president, the lad, Colonel ABS Kamara, that I mean from both. I can name all of them. The only way APC parents say, "Hey, then they say, "Grandparent go border." Now, I mean, they know they accept. The KTCC where the deacons are join force. Now, I mean, man, but I say, let no person fool you. Why? What I tell this, I live with them, I work with them. Then they claim their name here now. Now, they name they take now for put inside for letting peace and not. They are not Northerners. I will challenge them because they make they call them my name. Then they put their name and say that city. Now, I lie. Not to Northern at all. They are not. Not to team, not to Limba. Now, now make me they call them out. Now, this is medium. Let them go. This I call their names there for let us see. We know them. We know that against what they do, they call them directly. We know she says on a Kuruma, on a Bangura, but I mean this, on a Fana, Naminde. Then they accept themselves. If you tell us that, then they nearly continue. Naminde. Then they use their names here now for full because they say any name we sometimes here is a Conte, here is a Bangura or Fufana or Kuruma, and go fishing and nothing. But they are not. Now that name they hide. Let me tell you now. We get for make them play no see. They will hide. Don't hide the place down there. Anyhow, any pattern in pool. Let me tell you one thing in Cashbox. Now we accept people so that we can look clearly now. Other than CC, pure CC, now we not been we not for now, we not promote them. Now we can know before this time without them. But they make a very clear. Say no, me not they deny self. No, me not to team, me not to me not me not to not now, me not out, me not. Then they tell you it's not joke. Then they tell you they make it clear. We have in them in the mission and they say, "No, I'm surprised." I say, this man, the man, because they boast of themselves, they proud of him. Say, no, me not, me not out. Now we don't know. I'm the name hide. So then them so that so let not fool people because in the problem where I said play as alone, people they agree for like anybody people they agree for study the country, the dynamics, the tribes, the names them how it go, voting cross and Udana Kuruma win a Limba, Udana Kuruma in a team because to get some name them when they run through certain tribes them. You go see Kuruma win a Limba man, win a Madinguma, win a Tuniman, win a Jaluka, win a Susu, win a Minde. When a local one green son he run down through the tribes them. People are not happy that day. But when they in governance so they will take them time and they use them for full play say like they loot them. Not lie. They are not. So how mad a big officer, what is not to be? Who will not put them to one point? You see this EU report here, it just can't tell, it just can't substantiate. We argument then and we think that we can win a fact to be say all this time, not allegation of the lane, a fact to be all the time. They just can't substantiate and let no say, not to be no more to Ibrahim Cashbox or communicator they talk. Voting other people, these are 40 people, then send a first mission, fact find mission, and then send the other mission for can look, voting the fact find mission pool if not true. They're not just pull this report out. When they report to them, they say the example and other team for can check. For them, for can confirm the report if not true.
Waiting and do this tip, they circumvent the civil societies because they know they're corrupt. They say they want to go through them. When they go through with we young people and send the young people on the field for talk to citizens them. That was why this was beautiful. April
May. I constantly engage them. I appoint the super they will never have the fact.
Thank you.
Constantly we've been engaged. Why the right to tell them the super they never give the fact because I constantly give them the report of the MCC. Say it's not
Thank
true.
you.
Go to the ground. Check the price. Guys, what's happening?
And I would not be surprised if MCC get for come up with a statement in a not too distant future for say, hey, our reports were skewed and we're going to do a further investigation for make sure say yes, we go after the people and we give them false reports there. Because we should be able to look at this European Union. For you guys out there, give the European Union report to the MCC and then compare notes now and say, MCC, how is this government getting political rights, civil liberties? 96%. Come on, let me play one more video of Marabio.
Just before you do that, when you talk about the MCC, Dennis Bright make a very crucial point yesterday, where I want to believe. The MCC
on the walkout or that program that you guys on.
One program where he talks say, oh, let's watch and see if MCC get forgive them this money, because it would be embarrassing for the MCC as an institution for disburse this money to this government with everything that has happened since they actually passed them. So many things they don't pass under the bridge, Ibrahim. It would be really, really embarrassing. And the onus, like what they say, the onus is now on us, Sierra Leoneans, for beginning to feed this information back to the MCC. You remember when we talk about the MCC, comrade, when we discussed the MCC, we talked about like the discrepancy between the MCC report and the Mo Ibrahim report, between the MCC report and the CIA report, between the MCC report and the FBI report. All of these things did not match, but yet still they managed to kind of like falsify it. And we were telling people, look, listen to us. We're not making these things up. Why these people for pass this pass? We they see the first lady they thief money. We they see the president thief 250 million from the timber, but still until we say they pass fighting corruption.
When you talk about the first lady, it reminds me of I see a video where they say they don't appoint her for top boy HIV. You know, see any ceremony they don't succeed for kill the minister of the social welfare. Yeah. They also gender ministry. Now the HIV and AIDS, when an independent body, when they run as alone, now they don't go back. So meaning any problem they can now, they pass through them from Minister of Finance to in your office back. Because you know what's in happening as alone, everybody, including the presidents, the circumference is under the first lady. What's in the first lady will end up in as alone. That's exactly what's in happening. But then the topic of itself. Coming back to Zika, you now remember we as government change, what's first happened by the first appointment we do now for change the head MCC, a changer. But the one we appoint, I still get reservation from the one we appoint. I still get a reservation from the one we appoint because I know the angle to make I get a reservation. I know the political they go and play based on the one you appoint. Because why you appoint na Fulaman and they had the right.
Yes. So now the MCC.
Yes.
Yes, like Guinean.
The boast, but
like Guinean. Would they get them? Would they get them?
We the point this year very well and put pressure. They begin now for right. Like what go say. Would they begin right to that particular area of MCC? We tell us this is the pattern with that man the boost up and I make it as sure. So for like saving integrity. Then make sure it's alone. Who they point out to who have been saying this thing Ibrahim 3 years down the line. What's make with the ministry report motivate we more because meaning that they listen to Christ them. Who let us know the right not go in vain. Then get for can send and check. Not to what you know tell them. Then send and spend forget information, make an intelligence then don't spend team them different. Look at man I say then they come for and find out they engage you. No, not possible, bro. That man I say that man you don't lost.
It was engaged. European Union go to them, they go show on the findings. It was engaged.
No, they go say I said that man not get bearing. The people now what's in campaign one of the two that journalists will ask that idiot today, that spokesperson, we can say then where they go now the tribe and the party. They say we don't the work for the people them. So if the European Union can't ask the people them, what's in bad for them? They want to move. Now the people that they work for, they don't need to ask you. Now examine the seats. If you sit exam, the lecturer and the mark. We now they back on a result. I don't know if I pass on a field. What did I forget asking for? Then they feel offended. You know that like that we talk dog. Wait, throw stone. They don't way back past all and the stone hit.
Yes.
Then Maya, don't tell them like I say, non toilet at the road. Who's in the school sleep and net. Now pandak and work and go match the toilet. Now in the smell and bra.
Yes.
Any tip jump out way dig and bra like no deep. Make a let it up like knee.
Yes.
They're not digging. I we don't wear this and that. But then they commodity.
They
anyhow you make this message they go to you, I will let you know say this. Let me just go for SLPP. The way they in governance today, and let go for any other opportunity for governance subsequently.
Right.
If you feel you can't try the student them, you can't put it in. They're gonna make it in a power. You are lying. We tell God thank you. The world leaders are not ready for save the African democracy.
Absolutely.
Fighting against the dictator, then go pull you, then tell you when I stop cost to others, and Africa will need for save up. Me, I don't say policy. We get for them to socialize Africa for not get Africa to one time. If you matter BPC, they can't take. Like put all in terms and the position them. If they go because the people's power in get the democracy is of the people by the people and for the people. When that time the 2023, you either go by respect or you go by disgrace, but it's good. If they go, that's all we.
What will be the consequences for the country if that will happen if the elections will be really postponed?
Very dire consequences.
What will be the consequences for the country if that will happen if the elections will be really postponed?
Very dire consequences, as you know. We are all set. We've been preparing for this for the past 5 years, and everything is set. We have international observers here. Quite a lot of money has been spent for this particular occasion, and we see no reason why it should be postponed. The only reason that is there is because the president wants to postpone. But we have the constitution, and there is no reason why it should not be held.
We only get you, Ibrahim. We only get you. Ibrahim, we only get you.
Oh, thank you. I said it's the constitution.
No, Ibrahim, I'm glad. You don't tell me say, you know the constitution, so you don't tell me say in actions is deliberate.
Absolutely.
So it's very simple to try this man. That means whatever thing they are doing, they know the ramification where they can behind them, because then this the table now say all their actions is deliberate. Not like they don't know the constitution, not like they don't know the law, not like you don't know what to do. They do and deliberately with impunity and we fight against impunity. We tell God thank you.
Ibrahim, they're wicked. These guys are witch. These guys are wizards. You know, then guy they are. You know, may God pay them. Because sometimes you can lost for words how for really describe these guys. With everything with the salon people and they go through.
Let me continue this video. This was during the election. Oh, it also threatened all over the place.
It should be postponed. The only reason that is there is because the president wants to postpone. But we have the constitution, and there is no reason why it should not be held on the 27th. Okay. I will not hesitate to call the people of this country to come out and defend peace, security, and the democracy we have fought for. I didn't fight for democracy alone. This whole nation fought for it. And I think we should rise up to make sure that democracy is maintained.
Yeah, what you see?
Yeah.
You see,
the consequences for the country if that will happen, if the elections will be really postponed?
Very dire consequences, as you know. We are all set. We've been preparing for this.
Kamri, go ahead.
Yeah, you say, it's a very dire consequences them.
Very dire.
We continue to say, it no go hesitate for corporate and commot and the security for defending democracy. Because democracy we don't people are not paid for. Not to eat no more. People in matter of fact, it's not paid for this democracy. Let me tell you now, the MPRC now then jeopardize democracy because for don't get the first democratic election in 1992. People in the campaign where the MPRC overthrew the APC government. President Momo, now the 1991 constitution allow we go into election in the multi-party in the presidential race. We've been got elections and Ibrahim. I grew up and meet elections. The 82, the 86, the 70. We meet the election day. We make parliamentary elections. You mean they? Anybody born from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, you meet the election day.
Right.
We make parliamentary election every 5 years. But they run this country in a parliamentary system. Every 5 years, that they make elections and vote, they give symbols. People then go vote. They appoint members of parliament and they back the prime minister. Even they. Well, President Momo, in 1991 constitution change, they allow you to run into multi-party election in a presidential race. And by 1991, when the work Canada declared for make election in 1992, when we get about when they come from PPP, we get the PDP, so when I tell the pattern they come, the UMPP, all the patterns they come. Because if we don't get election, the first democratic election in 1992, MPRC go through. So in not fight for democracy. Then they sit down, say and try for the whole thing when they go, when they feel the nation and go. What's happening? You know, can salon over 20 years, you know, get a job. He been in London now. Maui did a council post. Maui is about to street trading. He been there until he go before they go elect him. The man not get nothing for do. So in not pay for this democracy. Democracy, we some of we now go to pay for democracy because we live our lives. We no go not get chance for go inside. People as you say, people that don't die for this democracy, they don't call people and rape women them, rape picking them, take picking as child soldiers, born people and oaths them. This democracy, women that don't talk so. Would this would defend Abraham, any kind of would protect them, would they fight for them. And that did happen in 2020. There is no changes, so they begin fight for this. For what matter of fact, Lord let them begin show say from this census force, it need to happen. Now don't bring the constitution, according to the constitution, now the census force they happen. Because the constitution tells you in 10 years. It can go above 10 years. Maybe if I get crisis or I get anything, when I can push above 10 years. But below 10 years, no, you know when I need to do census below 10 years, at 10 years or after 10 years.
Absolutely.
So when they begin from this census, now do they begin to see they're not able to catapult the constitution where we know they brag with all this well. We see him go on television, say it's the duty of the military for let them protect the constitution if they need a right. And now they need don't they arise already. Because we go start from census, don't they arise for let the military. Let them spend 100% patriotism by protecting and defending the constitution. When the election I go back through, I know the reason for but you are there, so I know that the reason when military take over, just the kind of talk. If you let's say they not be rich outside, they say boy talk. In fact, you don't pass safe. The army, if I be so by army, like then Guinea or then Mali, like this man of money, a lot of they could fed for elector.
Oh yes. Sacrosanct fact. What did happen at Salon? So Salon no go happen. You know they happen at Guinea, Senegal, Liberia. You know they happen there.
That's the truth.
Salon no go happen.
Some of them in that side, they will be say who the look government to challenge them. Most of whom say who they pull in for because pieces on tender, not to better motor and they bought that and they then go pay the soon as I go listen man and all been in 1998 to them with the runners as born there, kill them like dog in the streets. I know the reason here about then get for be the next Hassan content because if something happen, Hassan content not too bad true, but the responsibility they feel. They say we feel the responsibility, they only for command responsibility. Now kill Hassan content Maskangare. Because they feel the responsibility. So they see that they're very close to that idea. Because when the people's power rise up, now then go for turn the victim. Madam, you the constitution. We don't know now. God make Kusabi say you know the law. You know the constitution. So you not get away for can't say you don't know. When I do have impunity, you they read them, they quote them. We don't agree. We the people of Sierra Leone, but we this generation here, we fight against that saloon. If for better because we get all what it takes. Me and you know for Sudan say for long for go give you knowledge them in diverse way like area with if na medical if na economics if na security we go and help the country we get everything we take for long Sudan for tell you all now but bad leadership we this generation we fight against that African democracy we go save a revolution as we count revolution for civil democracy that's no way matter you is get choice for go start for Sidon if they get for try for the one we don't kill so be it. For make
the time. Oh yes.
So,
yes, it's gonna be tried.
No, we know we go say they go. We afford alone for go.
Oh
right now, Ibrahim was part that year of itself. The 11 year of it. It was passer.
Absolutely.
If you go, Salomo will not fall. Say the word on money value part. Now give money above by par. So,
comrade, you know I feel like we come in late for this one, but I get one more video and then we say quits to this. Good night. And I want to let members of the opposition, including the APC, watch this. I wanted to see this particular video. Lord, remind them again. The archive day.
Former Chairman Batilo was saying it. We aren't going to be complacent. We've not got it yet. In my local language, they say in Mende, be a hoi badebe fue. Okay? We don't have the bad in our hands, so we can't say we've held it. That's the direct translation. Okay? So we haven't got the bird in our hand yet. We've seen the bird. We've had sight of the bird. And oh boy, we're going to catch it. We're going to catch it. We've got plans for catching that bird. And that bird is State House and the Houses of Parliament. Come 2018, no matter what APC is going to do, we are ready to fight. And you know what? I, Mohammed Yongao, chairman of UKI, SNPP UKI region, stand with our current national PRO when he made a proclamation. If APC declare war, we they endorse him.
Yes.
We they endorse him. I stand with him. I stand with him. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? They said, if you can't.
Hey guys, by the way, everybody share the live, guys. Share. Because people have to see these. Share the live. Everybody endeavor to share this live. Share the live. You know, thank God for social media. Thank God for the archives. Thank God we can store this data. You know, but to matter back when they can, because the way when it's something you go so run sweet. And the left one had a cut no appetite.
I mean, time seems as the day they go by, Ibrahim. Seriously, time don't look then our favor at all. I'm
Absolutely.
Like,
it's so much stuff. So much things we have to talk about.
Remember what I say, don't like Saloon.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
When the court will enter, don't say don't like Saloon.
Thank you.
When the back,
incitement.
If you cannot pay, you don't go to the kitchen.
Incitement.
fire each other. We inside fire and bonu na do grow up.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't can na cover them. You are telling them go in the door. Na cover them.
Hey, comrade, you remember when they kind of power incitement?
Yeah.
Incitement.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, me, subversion. Listen, when you talking about says you want to survive the state.
Right. So
Wait,
subversion of the state.
Yes, me when you say you want to survive the state, me I am a case where I get me want to survive this because as a point to hey go talk about war. Hey, now they want now they say they want fence.
Yes.
No, now that the free then they're not going to say I don't like this job being crime.
Right.
Let's go.
Come with Ibrahim. I always say this to people in a salon. The reason why we unanimously get for stand and kick this government out, we're sending clear message to politicians. This has nothing to do with, and Comrade can attest to this, and he can agree with me, even though he's APC through and through, is to send message to politicians that we are no more fools.
Right.
We will stand up. For far too long, for God's sake, Ibrahim, we country, Singapore, we're rich. They don't get half of what we get.
No.
Turkey, they make 100 million from the water. Statistics show, our research show, say we get 4 times of what in Turkey get.
Absolutely.
But people in the suffer. People, one whole salon surrounded with water. 7 major rivers, they flow into the Atlantic Ocean. Fresh water, the people still cannot get pipe-borne water. Not that country. What is wrong? We are sending message, Ibrahim. This is not about APC or SLPP. It is about whether APC come back to power. It is the message that we're sending to politicians. Do not take us for granted. Yeah, sorry, come on.
Me, what there? You, Ibrahim, will get an integrity for save. You know, when we save that integrity, then APC can have power.
Yeah.